Alright, hey guys, welcome. It's your boy Bouncy. I'm here to make a tier list for Dragon Ball Fusion World for set 3 Raging War. For all the red cards, I wanted to give them a tier list, what I thought about them, what I think of them, because I've been really enjoying Fusion World right now. I was planning on making YouTube videos for set 1 and set 2, but I wasn't that invested into them, you know, until now. Now I'm actually really invested in Dragon Ball Fusion World, and I am having so much fun guys. But yeah, I just wanted to rank the leaders, let y'all know my thoughts, and yeah, let's get down to it. This is Jiren. Jiren is 15k on the front, and he has on attack, draw a card. Awaken at 3, draw a card, and then obviously flip it over, right? That's the usual. But on his backside, it says permanent. If you have a battle card with 30k or less, 30k or more, you only take up to 1 damage per turn. This protects you from double strikers, which is like the #1 menace for 3 cost awaken at 3 leaders, because they can just keep you at 4, wait until they have their double strike, and then swing at you for big, and now you're at lethal range right away. And because you're in red, you don't have ways to actually heal. And he has auto when you take damage, draw a card. Nuts. It's good in a way. The only gripe I have with this is, yes, you're a 25k leader, it's harder to swing at you, yada yada yada, but that's like, when they're swinging at you, they're using a combo, yes, but they're replacing it because they're drawing a card after. Meanwhile, you're on your backside. The only way for you to draw a card is for you to take damage, which seems bad. I do not like, I've said this before to my friends, I do not like crit leaders on the front. I don't like leaders that don't draw on the back. There's no point for me to play them. I like being able to dig through my deck, find my top end, find the answers I need, find everything. If my leader can't draw when it's attacking or when I want it to, I just don't think it's that good. So, sorry guys, but Jiren for me is not a good leader. I give him a B, depends on his support, like, you know. And yeah, for anyone who has questions, my reasonings for these rankings are going to be down in the description of the YouTube video. What I mean for A, B, C, D, and you know, obviously it's a vanilla and it's a super combo, like these are very, you know. Alright, our next card is Casserole. Casserole is a Rakumen Ginyu package. Add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Play a battle card with a cost of 2 or less and Pride Troopers in a special trait from your hand. So unlike, so this is just Rakumen Ginyu, you know. I give this a B. It is solid. It's a 3 cost, 20k, 5k, but it's a 5 drop, 5 energy, 5 energy play for 3 in red. Red is the aggro color, and I just think it's good. It's good. It depends on what we'll get for the next, for like in the future, but I think in certain decks he'll be very good, and even in those non-certain decks as well, this thing will be good. You just have to put in enough Pride Troopers to make him worth it, right? Next up is North Kai. North Kai is your searcher. Look at top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with a cost of 4 or less from Pride Troopers in its special traits, and add it to hand. Put the rest at the bottom in random. It's your typical searcher, 1 cost, 5k combo, right? Like, and this will be put in any deck with the Pride Trooper. Kaba. Oh, our next boy, Kaba. Now, if you've been here since the start, you know how much I've been ragging on it. I've been like very hyping up this card, but Kaba's insane. If this was still Tapu and they didn't ban Tapu, or if they did ban Glimpse and Ribrianne, but left Kefla alone, top coup is gonna be insane. Now I understood why they decided to ban or limit Kefla, because they printed this card. This card says if your leader is awakened, super easy in red, super easy. Even without Roshi, it's very easy in red. But even still, like, this is a good mid-game or late-game play. Add up to 1 non-combo battle card. That's a battle card. Non-combo battle card with a cost of 4 or less, and Tournament of Power and its special traits from your drop to your hand. Yes, it can't grab Kaba, but it can grab a Kefla, the 4-cost Kefla. It can grab anything with Tournament of Power as long as it's 4 or less, which is gonna be basically everything in your deck as top coup. This deck's sick. This card's sick. If we had Kefla, like, I was on the train of, I'm not that worried about Kefla. It's more Ribrian and Glimpse that I'm more afraid of. Now I'm actually afraid of Kefla, and I'm hoping they don't unban. Because this thing's insane. When you're at 5 energy or turn 5, which you will get to, you play a Kefla, play Kaba. Kaba grabs the 4-cost Kefla from your grave or your drop, whatever you want to call it, and then for 1 energy you play Kefla with top coup effect, and then you just do it all over again. It's insane. This thing's just too good. Just too good. I am, honestly, I think now that I've sang praises a bit, like, this might even be good in any deck, in any red leader. It doesn't have to be top coup. Like, this is a glimpse on the body. I'm gonna give him an A. Yeah. I was initially gonna give him a high B, but I'm giving him an A. He's just too good, man. It's nuts. Alright, our next one is a target for our casserole. It is a 2-cost, 15k, 10k combo. On play, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less, and it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. Okay. This one's fine. This is a good card. I wouldn't call it, like, great. Like, it's 15k power. Yes, it stops an attack, but it's 15k power. Like, yes, I said that before, you can, against leaders, you can just combo, but because this thing doesn't, like, like, draw or any, this thing's weird. It's a good effect, don't get me wrong, it's a good effect. It's just that his stats are so mid. They're just very mid. It's still good though. I think he's still just a good target for casserole. I just wouldn't actively play him. He probably wouldn't be my first target, honestly, unless I'm really behind and need to stop the pressure. So I'm gonna put him at C. Alright, next up, it's Kettle. It's a vanilla. Like, what else can I say about it? Like, vanillas are good though. There's a casserole target, so yeah. It's also a 10k combo. Next up, we have Kefla. We have another Tournament of Power, guys. So this thing's 3-drop, 20k, 5k combo. It has all these traits. And also, on play, choose up to 2 of your battle cards with Universe 6 and their special traits, and they get plus 5k power for the turn. That's insane. It can even choose itself as a target. This thing's amazing. Even play this off of Kefla as well. It's power. It's good power. This is basically saying, oh, give 2 things plus 5k combo. That you don't have to use in your hand. You don't have to use any resources. You only just have to play this for 3, right? For 3, or even cheat it out with the 4-cost Kefla, and you get plus 10k power on the board. This thing is basically a 3-drop 30k for 5k combo. It's insane. This thing's nuts. We'll put him in high B here. Alright, next. This is, how do you pronounce her name? Cocote? 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 I don't know. It's a super combo. Like, what do you want me to say? It's a super combo. Pride Troopers, you can't search it from Kai because Kai can only search for 4 costs or less. So, Alright, our next one is our first SR Jiren. Holy. Okay, this is what makes the Jiren deck probably work. The only problem is this thing's kind of, you know, very easy to remove. I say that, but, you know, if we read him, he says, this card can't be KO'd once per turn. I say it can be easy to remove, but if you look at it, against blue, this thing can get bottom decked very easily. Against red, like the mirror, you can just minus it to where your opponent will just use it as like a pseudo blocker, and then it'll be like what, 10k, and then they swing into it again with another small body, and then it'll die, right? Which is fine. I think it's fine. Against green, this is a great card though. This is a great card, don't get me wrong. This is a fantastic card against green, can't be KO'd. Green actually just panics whenever it sees that. It's how as a droids player myself, I panic whenever I see a Vegeta, the 3-cost yellow Vegeta on board. I hate that card so much. But this thing is also annoying. I have to swing into it in order for this to die, essentially, and I can't only just swing into it once, unlike the yellow Vegeta. I have to swing into it twice. So, one thing as well, his second effect is actually the most busted one yet as well. Activate battle. Opponent's turn. Once per turn, you take 1 damage. If this card is in rest mode, add the top card of your deck to your life. So this works so well with Jiren. Holy shit! You don't, like, it's activate battle. It doesn't, like, your opponent doesn't even have to target this to for an attack for it to work. It's just any battle. As soon as they swing and priority goes to you for defense or anything, you activate this card. Take 1 damage. Jiren says when you take damage, you draw a card, and then if it's in rest mode, you heal. Like, dude. Because the wording says you take damage, Jiren actually gets you a card and another card because you took the damage from life. It's insane! This thing's fucking nuts. It's actually so good, man. And also, like, you're not that bothered by yellow as well with them resting this. Like, they'll rest it. You want it rested anyways. Doesn't matter. If you can just get 1 or 2 of these on board, you are gonna be digging through your deck so fast. So fast. This is your best card in Jiren, and I'm gonna put him in B tier. Actually, I might even put him in low A minus. I'd say A minus, B plus, around there. This guy's like just a 4-cost beater. Against blue, you just kind of, blue or black actually, because black can bounce this as well. Like, you can just, you don't want to play this against blue or black, but against any other deck, this thing's fire. Holy shit. But yeah, oh my god, I think in any red deck as well. Like, it doesn't even have to be in a Jiren specific deck. Just digging through your life, and also if it's in rest mode, you just heal. That's too good. That's just too good. This is the alt art, by the way, down below. But yeah, oh my god, it's insane. I like this though. I like this art. Oh, where he's just going. I love that. Alright, next up is Zoire. I don't know how to pronounce this guy. Zoire. Okay. He's a Pride Trooper, Universe 11, 1 cost 15k, 5k combo. If you have a total of 3 or more cards with Pride Troopers in their special traits among your leader and battle cards, this gets +5. Like, you need so much setup to get this card even turned on, and it's only on your turn as well. It didn't even have the audacity to have the 5k during your opponent's turn. Like, this thing's just a D for me, man. It's not great. It requires too much setup. you need basically the way, like, you know how Raccoon Ginyu can restand 2 energy so they can play another thing. If we had that in red, I'd say that I might even bump this up to a C-, but because we don't have that in red, and believe me, I've already checked, this thing's just not it, you know? Yeah. Alright, next card. Oh, this Goku is probably one of the cards that I read over and over, and every time I read it over and over, I'm like, this thing's just good, so good. Can be used in any deck, probably used in Universe 7 Goku. Like, U7 Goku loves this card, because with Universe 7, if you're awakened, and you should be awakened by then, this thing's a 30k power, so it sees itself when it swings to draw a card. So basically you've drawn 2 cards that turn. Oh yeah, it stacks 3 cost, cheap, 25k, that's a big body, not very easy to swing into. 5k combo as well. It has combo, bro. It has combo. It's a Saiyan and a Universe 7. Very easy to search. In U7, this thing turns itself on easily. And when it attacks, if there's a battle card with 30k power or more, draw a card. This is just insane, man. This is so good. This is so good. This is so good. I think Universe 7 loves this card. I think if you can just have this survive somehow, and then put down a 30k body, like if you're playing any other deck aside from U7, this thing works as well. This also works in what's his face? No, it can't work in Starter Coup, because Starter Coup is activate battle and you've already swung, so the effect will actually fizzle on itself. So yeah, but still, I think this is a B+, A+ card. But because I feel like it can only be easily turned on in U7, I think I'll just give it B+. A- might be too generous. I've seen red decks, and red decks, typically their bodies don't last that much, unless they're playing against, you know, low to the ground decks, you know, like the Raccoon Ginyu package, because they're all 20ks, so the only way for them to effectively get rid of your 30k is by resting them, and that's fine, you don't care about that, because all you want is the 30k to be on board, right? So that's what I'm giving this grade, this card, the graded. It's on. Next up is Tupper. It's a vanilla. I'm not gonna waste time talking about this one. Next up, we have Dispo. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5k power for the turn. It's a 1k, 15k, 5k. As you can tell from my reaction, I am not high on this card. I hate when KO effects. The only time we have an on KO, like self KO effects, is in blue, which is the 3-cost Beerus 20k, 10k combo. It says on swing, KO one of your guys, and then bounce one of your opponent's guys. That's great, but with red we don't have a way to self KO this thing. So this thing just sucks. Maybe in the future we'll see more support that we might actually see play of this, but right now I don't see it. So D. I'd actually put it even less than Zoiroy. I don't know his name, but yeah. Next up, we have his other body, Dispo. It's a 2-cost 20k. If this card would be removed from your battle area by your opponent, you may place one card from your life into its owner's drop instead. And then on attack, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 5k power or less and KO it. This is hit if you bought him off Wish. Like, what can I say? Like, you just have better 2-drops in red. You're not playing this. And the fact that it can be removed is tempting, but because the life doesn't go into your hand, instead it goes into your drop, it actually sucks. it nags you a card. You're never saving this. Maybe in limited, I don't know, but in constructed, this thing is just not good. It's I'm sorry, Dispo, but you got like shafted this set. You got absolutely shafted. Alright. Next is Topo Vanilla. So vanillas, I would rate them as like C's, honestly, so you can just take it as you will, but yeah. Vanillas are basically C's because they're like, you know, they're the base stat lines that you see. They're always 10k combos, which isn't bad. Next up is Topo, another SR for red. 4 cost, 25k, 5k combo. On attack, ditch a card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less and KO it. And then when this is KO'd, draw 2 cards. I really hate that they print on KO things on these. Like, if we had a way to self-KO this guy, sure. That's fine. Because, you know for a fact, there are times where you do want to KO your stuff, like, if they have, like, beneficial effects like this. Like, if we had a way to, like, a sack outlet, you know, for this card, because, like, let's say, for example, you know there was a Broly coming out in the next turn. If you're facing off a green, you just want to pop this yourself, pop it yourself, draw 2 cards, let him replace it, and then, yes, Broly's gonna target a different thing, but at least you got 2 cards out of this guy, you know? Or like in yellow, they'll just rest it, it'll forever stay rested, because this effect of ditch a card, pop one of your opponent's 25k power or less, if they don't have Vegeta on board, which you're in red, that Vegeta should be gone because you've minused its power or subtracted its power. Like, this thing is a threat to them. This thing will always stay rested, so if we had a sack outlet, we could actually draw 2, and then if we find another Topo, we can just do that, answer their board. But because we don't have a sack outlet right now, it's not great. And also, ditching a card just feels bad to KO something. So I'd say I'd give him a C+. I'd give Topo C+. I wouldn't give him, you know, I wouldn't give him a B minus at best, but a C+ right now. I think once we get a sack outlet, this guy's nuts. This guy's amazing. Alright. Oh, also, for all of you who don't know what a sack outlet is, in Magic terms, a sack outlet means something that you can sacrifice a creature to gain an effect, or to benefit from something, or to pay for a cost. So, yeah, basically, Topo wants a sack outlet so that you can gain the benefit of his draw 2. Alright, next up is Hit. Oh my god, Hit, every time he gets a good card, every time. 2 costs, 20k, 5k combo, on attack. If your leader is awakened, easy in red, once they, I don't know, they probably won't, what I think is they'll unban Roshi, but that's for another day, because Roshi isn't that much of a problem, honestly. If your leader is awakened during this turn, the next time you use an extra with a cost of 3 or less, and Universe 6 in a special chase from your hand, you don't pay the cost. So, there's a similar effect like this in green. We'll get to that when I do the green tier list, but this thing's good. This thing, its effect is good, it's a 2 cost, 20k. Hit is just a generally good character right now. We have the Self-Awakener Hit, and then we have this. The only problem is, when I'm playing red, or if I'm playing against red, you don't play a ton of extras. You don't like playing any extras. Honestly, you just want bodies and combo. That's all. But maybe in the future, maybe in the future that'll change. But right now, all I can see Hit being in is in Beerus, because being able to pay for nothing, like, you're basically doing a turn 3 play with this card for free on turn 2. Like, if you're in Beerus and somehow your list includes the time skip, which is I believe what this card was made for. Time Skip says 3 cost KO 2 bodies, I think. That's 30k power combined, something like that. I don't remember, but basically you just play that for free and KO like 2 things. It's very cost efficient, especially if you have this on board already. It's very good. But yeah, I think right now, because of how red looks like in set 3 and in the previous sets as well, I just don't think you have enough space for extras. But I do like this card. I hope I see it more because I'm very high on this card. If it wasn't for the fact that like you don't have space for him, I'd put him in B. But right now he's a C+. Alright, next card. Oh, Beerus. Oh, this thing. I showed this to my friend, and this thing's insane. 3 cost, 20k, 10k combo. On play, self-ping, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Already good. Already starting out great. Activate me. Pay 1. Place this card in its owner's drop. If your leader has God of Destruction in its special traits, play up to 1 Beerus with 35k power from your hand. This thing's insane! This thing cheats out the 5 cost Beerus, bro. Like, okay, worst case scenario, you can, like, the earliest you can probably do the effect is turn 4, right? Like, if you're going first. But still, being able to play a like the board wipe Beerus is just good. For basically 1 cost. For 1 cost! And that thing has crit as well. It fishes out a super combo. So, and this thing's a 10k combo. You just swing with this when you're about to summon the big Beerus from hand. Pay the 1, play the Beerus. And also, this thing's also just a good turn 2 play if you have the energy marker. If you have the energy marker, you just slam this down, and then on turn 3, you have a 5 cost body on board. That has crit. That is not easy to remove. Not easy to remove, man. Like, this thing, oh my god. The only thing that's holding it back is if your leader has God of Destruction in its special traits. But I think if it didn't have that, this thing would be busted otherwise. Oh my god, I am so high on this card. This is a B+. It's a B because it can only be used in Beerus, but if it didn't, this thing would be an A+ for sure. It's so good. It's such a good card. Alright, next up, we have Vuong. 2 cost, 15k, blocker, add up to 1 card from your life turn. This is a knees for red. It's also a Pride Trooper target for your casserole. It's a Self-Awakener. We have more options now for our 2 drops as a Self-Awakener. It's a blocker. It's a 15k blocker though. It's no longer a 5k blocker or a 10k blocker because those things can just be easily dealt with by red. 2 is still easily dealt with by most things. Yellow, blue, green, but it's a Self-Awakener. And it also has 10k combo. It's not bad, but I wouldn't rate it too highly. It's a C- for me. Next up, our last SR is Vegeta. On attack, ditch 2 cards until the end of your next turn. This card can be KO'd and gains plus 30k power. Activate main once per turn. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less. KO it, then KO this card. 3 cost, 20k, 5k combo. I'm not big on this card. Sorry. I love Vegeta. I like his character. I even made 2 decks from set 2, all just the Vegeta leaders because of it, but this thing just doesn't feel playable. The on attack ditch 2 is big. It's way too high of a cost for it to not be KO'd, and just for it to get 30k power, I don't know how I feel about this card right now. I could be wrong, because you attack with this first ditch 2 cards, then you do his activate main ability, and because it is you've already done his on attack trigger or effect. That just means you just KO a 25k power or less on your opponent's side of the board, right? But ditching 2 cards is too high of a cost. Jiren, the new Jiren leader, will never play this. I honestly don't know where I would see this being played. But yeah, I give this a C, maybe. Like it's probably a C minus. It sucks because the alt art looks so badass as well. I really wish this was a better card. The ditch 2 just really turns me off, man. But yeah, next up we have this clown Bellman. 2 cost, 20k, no combo. On attack, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 20k power or less, and it gets minus 15 power per turn. You still need a lot of tools just to get something down to 20k. Beerus leader is one of those tools. This is, I don't know, not high on this card. If he had combo maybe, but because he doesn't, I get why he doesn't, because he minus something by 15, but still, I'm like, I wish this was better. Yeah, I'm putting him in a D plus, just because you do still neg, but you'd much rather play Gohan, 3 cost Gohan over this. Like, no cap play. 3 cost Gohan is just 100 times better than this card. Right, next up, probably my favorite card in the whole set. This is Marcerita. It's a common, 1 cost, 10k power, 10k combo. On play, if your leader is awakened, again, very easy to do. You're in red, you have so many self-awakeners. Choose up to one of your battle cards and it gets plus 10k power per turn. Yes, it can target your leader, but who cares? It can target any of your battle cards. This is a Bulma, but in red. Bulma, it says 1 cost if your hand is 7 or less. Like, Bulma even has a condition that your hand size needs to be 7 or less. Choose one of your Vegeta cards, and it gains plus 10k power for the turn. And it has 10k combo. It's basically the same stats as this girl, but this thing says the only condition for this is if your leader is awakened, and your leader is gonna awaken in any time, like most of the game anyways, right? In red, you're supposed to be awakened most of the time, and it just says give your battle card a plus 10k. This thing's a 20k combo. Like, this thing's amazing. This thing's looking amazing. Like, this thing's just so good. It's a plus 20k combo on any of your battle cards. this thing I'm high on. It's A+. A+ for me. In any red deck, I'll find an excuse to run this card, is what I would do. Like, that's how highly I think of this card. Alright, next up, it's Jover. It's Jover, 2 cost event, activate. If you have a battle card with 30k power or more, choose all your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less, and KO. So it's the 5 cost Beerus board wipe, without having to ditch an extra card. It's okay, right? It's good. The condition's very easy enough to satisfy, right? 30k power or more. Like, the only thing is you don't play this turn 2. There's no way you're playing this turn 2, nor turn 3 for that matter. The earliest you can probably play this is like turn 4, but even then it's like you still need to set up a body that has 30k power or more on the field, so it's a better alternative if you want a board wipe, like if you really want a board wipe in your deck. But yeah, I just don't think it's that good. I'd probably even put it, it's definitely higher than Dispo though, so yeah. Next up, the greatest showdown of all time. It is a 5 cost event. And it says activate main, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 2,000 power for the turn. 20k, sorry. Then play up to one battle card with a cost of 4 or less, and universe in its special traits from your hand. I want to like this card. It cheats out a body. I'd say cheat out, but that's putting it loosely. It does subtract power on your opponent's cards, which is nice. But you'd probably want to do something else other than play a 5-cost event, a brick on your hand. You'd play the double striker over this. You'd play the Beerus Brick over this. I can think of so many things you'd much rather play than this. So, yeah, I just don't know about this card. This thing's a D as well. I'm not high on event cards in red, just because I feel like you don't have space for them. Next up, Double Cannon Maximum. Activate battle. Okay, this is an activate battle, which is fine. Choose your leader or up to one of your battle cards and it gets plus 15,000 for the turn. And if you have a total of 3 or more cards with Pride Troopers in your special traits, among your leader and battle cards, your leader gets plus 5k for the turn. Now, that second part's very good actually. That second part's very good. Just because if someone's trying to swarm you, I don't know if we'll have that again in this meta. Maybe droids might actually swarm you with 20k pingers all the time. 20k. I don't know about Frieza if he'll show up, but this thing just means that your leader gets an extra 5k power for the turn. The only downside is I can see in this card is that 1, you're in red. I don't know if you have time to even have 1 energy open, and 2, you need to have 3 or more cards with Pride Troopers in their special traits among your leader and battle cards. So honestly, you only need to be a Jiren leader, and then that already satisfies like 1/3 of the condition of that condition. Now you only need 2 more battle cards, which would probably be your casserole and a 2-drop. But in any other deck, I don't think you have time to play that, just because, like, I don't know, man. Do you really want to change your deck into a Pride Trooper just for the sake of playing this card? From what I can see, most of the Pride Troopers are kind of mid, except for the 4-cost Jiren and Casserole. Those are the only ones that I can think of that are good. Every other Pride Trooper feels very mid to me right now. So yeah, I think this is a D as well. Same with these guys. Maybe a C. Actually, D+, C-. That's how high I'll give it, but not more than that. Next up, we have Sphere of Destruction. Activate main. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less and KO it. Then if your opponent's life is at 4 or more, deal 1 damage. Okay, this is a meme card. I love it. It's not good in any way. But for all those, like, this is a funny card to tech in if you see a lot of Broly's in your locals. So essentially what you can do is before you swing into the Broly when they're at 4, exactly 4, you just don't do that. You just play this, have them take the life, and then when they're awakening, they're gonna be at 2 health. So unless they have a healer, they're gonna be at 2 health for the longest time for the rest of that match. This is just a funny card. It's a funny card. It's nothing more than a meme. I want to love it, but to me, this is along with the rest of them. This is just a funny card. But yeah, I think that's it for all of them. Yeah, those are all the cards for red. Yeah, this is my list. I don't know if y'all agree with me or not, but hey, I may be wrong when this set comes out, but this is what I think of Raging Roar's pool of red cards. Alright guys, that's it. See ya.